Hi there, welcome to Ghost Prime Transformers Reviews. Today I'll be taking a look at Decepticon Fasttrack from the Earthrise line. He is a weaponizer figure and an updated version of the Fasttrack from Generation 1 that was packaged with Scorponok. Now, he has a very interesting backstory. He was never actually appeared in the Generation 1 cartoon. He almost did in the Rebirth, where a character model was made of him, but never was actually featured being cut before production. He was featured in the IDW comics and as well as the 80s Marvel comics, but I don't know too much about them, so I can't speak too much to go into that detail. So interestingly enough, he's actually a troop builder if you look at his deco. He is a guard minder from Super God Master Force. And in Super God Master Force, they were a whole bunch of them, actually helmed by Black Rotishi figure that's upcoming. I know I'm butchering the name, but he's an upcoming figure that actually led these guys. And in the episode, they were building this giant cannon to actually destroy all the humans on the planet. So they, of course, there was an Autobot attack ensued, and a lot of the fast track guard binders were picked off. And it's episode 35 if you want to take a look at it. So if you want to go ahead and troop build this guy, I'd say go ahead and troop build this guy, because he would look fantastic with just like 7 or 8 of them, and maybe even more with Black Rotishi if you're getting it in front of him on your shelf. It'd be really cool. And maybe just one to have for Scorponok. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. All right, now we take a look at the packaging. So he comes in a standard Earthrise War for Cybertron front package here. He does come packaged in robot mode. On the side, you can see here he comes with the nice imagery on the side. He's vehicle mode instead of robot mode, as with all the weaponizers. And in the background, you can see what looks like Airwave looming over the background. So it's a nice, cool image. Airwave looks rather large. And on the back, you have the robot mode, the different pieces. You have his spear mode, and it shows a seat. And I believe this is the first time, because they did not actually name him in the Scorponok packaging, but you have Lord Zarek, and he has a little spear that goes into the back of what is the head here, and he could actually sit on, which I will show later. On this side, of course, is the Earthrise logo art. On the top, the Decepticon logo with Galvatron floating into the abyss. We still have not yet had a Galvatron reveal. Back at the bottom here is just sort of words and stuff. In the packaging, you do get the matte piece here and a decoder. I happen to have a decoder handy. It is Botropolis. So for those of you collecting, you might want to cut that out and eventually make your poster with this guy. You will need him. You do get his instruction booklet, which is done in the standard coloration and really nicely rendered images here. Goes to show all his different modes, how he goes together, how he goes into his spear mode, and the backpack mode. And it does show him with Run-Amok there. Now, I have Run-Amok, but I won't be showing it with Run-Amok because I tried getting this damn peg in the hole there, and it would just collapse every time, and it scratched the paint. So if you happen to have Run-Amok, that's something to look out for. As for weapons, you do get his little spear piece here. So if you see this side, that is for the Titan Master peg to peg into, and there is a 5mm port. And you get 2 of these little orange guns, which would either go on the shoulders or in the hands, and it covers the hands like the Generation 1 character did. And of course, the reason we're here is to see Fasttrack himself. Now, he's got some beautiful detail on him. This paintwork is wonderful. He's got this really nice looking metallic paint on his chest there with the outline windows, black accents with the orange. He's got some orange paint around back on this piece here and here, silver on the head with a red visor. So he's actually got a few different colors on him, which is really surprising for a character. Now, he is a deluxe, so he is at that $20 price point. And again, he looks just amazing with this detail. I mean, it's kind of all the way around. He does have some hollowness here. This is due to transformation. And a little bit of hollowness under here, but that's actually not too terrible. As for his weapons, his dagger, you could stick his dagger in his hand like this, or you could have his guns like that, or his gun on his shoulder, which is like the character model for the Rebirth shows. On mine, this one has a problem with the shoulders. Or this one has a problem with the shoulder, so it will not stay in. This one will stay in. They are slightly different, and this will stay on both sides, as to where this one will fall out. But this one will not fall out on his hand. It stays beautifully, really nice and tight. So I generally display him like this with this one on the shoulder, and I like having his knife like that. I think he could look really menacing. He does have really good posability for this figure, so let's get into that a little bit. And his shoulders do a full 360. Now he does have some limitation on his shoulder joint right here, up and down. It doesn't do a lot, but he does have a bicep swivel that is 360, and he has 90 degrees at the elbow. He has full 360 on the wrists and full 360 on the waist. If his arm doesn't fall off, good thing he's a weaponizer. It's supposed to do that. So his head is not on a ball joint. It is on just a peg, and you can only just turn around 360, but still, you could actually, it still works for posability. His leg goes up about this far and back a little less so with this here, but you could get it all the way up without the backpack on. His knee will bend really far partly due to transformation. You can actually get it kind of out. You get it like that. If you want to get it to the side a little bit, you get some pretty good range on that knee. His toe, due to transformation, and he does have the thigh swivel, and of course the ankle tilt. Now let's get into some comparisons here. Unfortunately, I don't have his Generation 1 character, but I'd like to put that right here. And his Generation 1 character, you can see a lot of the same detailing, like with the chest and the face. He has a ton of the same detailing. It does take a lot from that, and I really enjoy the updated detailing on it. He looks very good. Here he is with Deluxe Run Amok. Earthrise Megatron, so you could kind of get a look at just that size difference there. And Siege Optimus Prime. So before we get into transformation, we actually have to take him apart. So let's take off his weapons. Pull off his arms. Take his backpack piece and just pull that straight out. And then take this piece here, his waist, pull that straight out. Take these, rotate them up like that. Now you take his legs and fold them all the way around. And then there is a little peg hole here and a peg there, and you want to peg those two pieces together. Just like so. So you have this piece right here. Almost looks like roller, doesn't it? And then so you want to take his chest piece, move his head, turn his head 180, and take this piece, and there's these two peg holes. Look at that in focus. Two peg holes right there. And there's two pegs of the legs. Ooh, that rhymed. And then you just peg that on together. Take this back piece, put that on directly like that. So you have that as the back. And then you want to take the arms and turn these all the way around like this. Put a gun on each arm. And they go on the pegs. Right here, the shoulder pegs. I guess technically you don't have to take them off, but it does show the peg being up like this. So you don't technically have to take them off. So they do go down like this, down, up like that if you don't have to, but I always have a tendency to take them off. Just puts and then turn these all the way around. Put the guns on the fists, so that goes in. And if you're not using Zarek, he's not driving, you put the peg here, peg hole, like that. Get in, down in close so we could take a look. There is his vehicle mode, and he rolls really nicely. And there are a couple things you could do with it. So the first thing you could do is the aforementioned seat for Black Zarek. So you just take his little knife here, and there's a peg hole in the back of the head that slide in like that. And then you take Zarek here, and of course the Titan Masters have these little pegs at the bottom, and you just kind of peg that in like that. And he just kind of sits there. Now, it's kind of funny looking, I think, but it's cool that he has a sort of mode where he could ride with them. Maybe not drive them. It'd be cool if there was a cockpit here, but you can't do that. It's silly, but it's something that's functional. It's playability, you know, it's there. Another thing you could do is take this off. Maybe I take this whole piece here. So if you take this piece off again, if I could actually get that off of there. So if you take this piece off, on the underside, he has one of these ports here. So he has, this connectivity where you can put it back together, have it like this. And what's neat about it is you can connect them to a base. So any bases that have wheels or anything that they do that, you can kind of carry or do whatever you want with this. It's really kind of cool that he has connectivity to one of the larger base modes. You could even take them apart and get creative. It's really cool. It's extra connectivity. I like that they did that. So to create him into his secondary mode, which would be the spear, you do have to take them all apart. Now, to take them apart, you have to, of course, just pull them apart, but then kind of undo the legs a bit there, and then undo the arms. And you want to take this piece and just set it aside. This piece, what you want to do with is open it like this. And you'll see there's a peg here. And you take the little weapon there, the little knife, and kind of it becomes a hole there with two pegs that fits perfectly with this. I don't know if you see it, it's not focused. So you see those two pegs and the round peg, and that just goes right there. Pegs in the 5mm port. Take that keeps this nice and straight. And then you set this aside. So then what you want to do is you want to take this and you want to take his legs here, or you want to move this first like this. And then his legs turn in like so. And then you see there's two holes there on the bottom of his feet. And then there's two ports there. And this goes on, move his feet out more like that. This goes on just like that. And kind of move his feet up a bit. And you have this piece. Now for the arms, what you want to do is you want to take one arm and peg the gun into the shoulder area like that. So what it does is it creates a long handle. And then peg the top of the shoulder into like this. And it has a long spear that you could have Scorponok hold, sort of. It doesn't hold it very well, and because there is elbows here, it's more like a large snake. It honestly is not the best mode. It's not the best mode at all, but that is the mode. And for those of you curious, here he is being held as a spear by Scorponok. Not my favorite mode. It does look kind of small to be a spear on him. He does look kind of small in there. Overall, it's okay. Not the best. So again, he has another mode. Let's take these all apart. And then what you're going to want to do is actually take the legs off of this piece, like so. You definitely want to bring back in this piece right here. And then his legs, you peg the hips into the feet. Like that. You leave the weapons in the gun's hands, and you take that part, this part of the shoulder, and these are very large holes here. So take them and peg them in. And you kind of see where we're going with this. So then you want to take this part upside down. I'm going to put it upside down like that. So what you have here is a backpack. And so this piece comes out like this. This is the peg to peg onto the backpack. And then you have the ankle tilts that will make a backpack like this. And this here piece just stays like this and becomes its own weapon. So let me show you how that looks. Okay, the instructions do show him on Fasttrack, or sorry, not Fasttrack, so Fasttrack on Run Amok, but I don't like that because I've chipped my paint that way. So I'm going to use this guy here, Refractor, and I'm gonna take this piece off the back real quick. That's just sort of for storage, and I want to peg this into the port on the back. There, like so. He looks really good on this guy because you could actually take him and get it to where these could actually go all the way down. Like this, instead of kind of up like this where Run Amok has. Let me move this camera a little bit. Give you guys a better look at it. And take the bladed shield, peg it into the arm, and yeah, you could actually look pretty menacing like this. This is a really cool weaponizer. I enjoy it a lot. It looks very cool like that. I mean, he's so heavy. He's leaning forward. Look at those weapons. That's crazy. Of course, you could do just a tons of other things with them. You know, you could have these just be weapons by themselves. If I can get that out of his, there we go. These could be just weapons by themselves. Peg in like that. There's just a ton of different things you could do with this guy. I really enjoy these weaponizer figures, and Fasttrack is a very welcome addition to that. So yeah, as a weaponizer, this guy is very cool. He has a wonderful deco and actually really retains that high level of detail that we have come to know from the Earthrise and Siege lines. I really hope they continue doing weaponizer figures because I absolutely adore them. I think they are really, really cool, very fun, lots of playability. I can't say a lot more. I do wish that this actually fit in here when the other one didn't. Some QC issue. Otherwise, he has really nice joints. He's very posable. Just a very cool looking figure and a great addition to Scorponok, or just like I said earlier in the intro, if you want to troop build. He is one to troop build for sure, especially if you're getting the Black Ratishi character. Butchering that name, so sorry about that. So if you like this video, hit this thumbs up button. Hit the thumbs down vote button if you have to. Please subscribe. I'll see you guys later. I got a ton of reviews. I'm backlogged on.